If I never took a big trip again, blank. I just have no idea where this is gonna go. So it was just a random topic that was handed to me. So let's see here. If I never took another big trip again, I think I would feel like a piece of me was missing. I think I would miss all of it. I think it would feel a lot like I felt, or I would feel a lot like I did during the pandemic, being grounded. Oh, that was awful. I absolutely love travel. If you're new here and I haven't introduced myself, hello, I'm Kaylin. I am an avid traveler. Traveled literally my entire life. No exaggeration. My first flight was about 6 months at about 6 months old. Since then, I've traveled overseas internationally for 20 years. I think about 30 countries in case anybody cares. I've been to all 7 continents twice. The first time took me 18 years. The second time took me 9 months, give or take, depending on how you want to count that. That's another video. But all I have to say, I absolutely love travel, and I don't know how I'd feel if I never got to take another big trip. I guess I'm not, I guess the topic isn't necessarily that I wouldn't ever travel again. Maybe it was just something like I could only travel domestically, in which case I'm very fortunate. I live in a large country. I'm based in the United States. So there's lots of opportunities there to do and see things. North American continent, of course, I can go to Canada, go down to Mexico. Lots to do there. But I think I would just feel totally like weird if I never had another big trip planned. And maybe I should define what a big trip is to me. For me, that would be being overseas. I would be being in a new place, being gone for weeks upon weeks at a time. Lots of logistics in that between your travel, your accommodation. By travel, I mean modes of transportation, so accommodation, languages, currency. I just would miss it. There's so much that comes with a big trip. My 9 to 5 background is as a consultant in a project management role. So I logistics is my thing, planning is my thing. I love planning trips for people as well. Just put a little plug in there for that. So I really feel like part of me would be missing. I just couldn't imagine not doing it. I couldn't imagine not sitting in a place that I've never been before and hearing different languages. Of course, English, because English is pretty widespread, but French, Spanish, languages that I'm not familiar with that maybe I don't recognize, but it's still such a joy to hear. Um, the logistics of things. I love trying to figure stuff out. I love trying to make things work. I love when things all come together, and I love the feeling of being away. Flip side, I also love the feeling of being home for a while, but fun fact about me, I only last about 3 weeks at home before I start getting like, I don't know, like a travel itch. I get itchy. I actually get really uncomfortable and a little bit like snippy with people. I very much like to be moving, but I do like to be home. You probably seen I have 2 kitties, and they do like to make appearances every now and then on these videos. So if you're here watching for them, I'm not offended. They're pretty cute, but I wanted to say I do like being away. I like doing new things. I do. It would be weird. Here's something that would be weird for me. It would be weird not seeing my friends overseas anymore. I've gotten very used to seeing friends everywhere that I go. I have friends, both friends that are based in the United States that travel and I get to meet up with overseas on different trips, especially when we're all dancing together. But seeing my internationally based friends only in the United States if they're here, that would be super weird. I couldn't imagine. I absolutely love getting to see people when I remove from my own environment that I'm comfortable in all the time. I love getting to see friends and see the world through their local perspective. I've had friends that have hosted me and I've friends that have shown me around their country and their town, and they've got to play tourist, which is just it's just it's the life I don't think I had ever imagined. I certainly have always known travel was going to be a huge part of life, but I never ever envisioned that part of it of having really like a global family in a way, a global chosen family. So and that they're spread across everything from people that I've met through business or through mostly through dancing. Dance community is very small and there's a lot of crossover. So I've met people through both the light dancing world and I met people through the West Coast swing world and they a lot of them cross. And it's just an absolutely magical thing. So I miss that. I feel like I'm going through all like oh yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the things I wouldn't miss. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't miss the toll that it takes on your body. Traveling is not easy, especially big trips are not easy. There's a lot of changing of sleep schedules, for example, not only because of the time differences, but sometimes you're up early for a flight. Sometimes you haven't slept well because you were on a long haul flight. Sometimes you're on a ship, and that's not always the most comfortable thing, depending on the waters you're in. Sometimes you have to sleep on buses and trains, or and maybe that's just my budget way of traveling that I do. I suppose you don't have to travel that way. I'm sure there's a much more comfortable way of traveling that I have yet to experience. But to be said, it's like it takes a toll not having your usual foods to eat at your disposal. Being concerned about water when you're overseas, depending on where you are in the world, there are places that you don't drink the water because what's in their water doesn't agree with your system. So that's like thing I've experienced when I was in Africa, for example, like in Egypt, we always had sealed bottled water. Same thing in China, and that was a trip in 2008. So that's been almost 20 years. 2008. Oh my gosh, excuse me, 2006. That's been 20 years ago this year. Yeah, stuff weird stuff like that. I wouldn't miss that so much. You're worrying that you're gonna eat something and then you're gonna have upset stomach for days or catch a bug or God forbid something worse happens and you have to go to to the hospital. That yeah, I don't miss those. I wouldn't miss those fears, that's for sure. Gosh, what else wouldn't I miss? It's obviously a very long list of living out of a suitcase for an extended period of time. I can tolerate it, but oh man, there's nothing like being able to be in one place for a while and not have to like constantly pack and repack and organize and double check that you have everything, that you haven't left something in the room. I don't know what you guys are, but for me, guilty as charged. I check a room probably 100 times before I leave. I get everything packed up and like put by the door, and then I go back through the room like 2 or 3 times, double checking bathrooms, under the beds, under chairs, drawers. Even if I didn't use them, I'm always so afraid I'm gonna leave something behind. But I wouldn't miss that kind of stuff. I wouldn't miss. What else wouldn't I miss? It's a very short list. I think that tells you just about everything you need to know about me and travel. I really would feel like a piece of me was missing. Um, I would miss, yeah, I'm just gonna miss getting to see this beautiful world that we live in, getting to experience different cultures that we live in. I would miss meeting new people. I would miss being reminded that the world is a whole hell of a lot better place than we're led to believe a vast majority of the time. I really think uh, there's a song I forget who sings it, and but I hopefully I get the lyric as close as I can. But it says something along the lines of, "If you just go by the nightly news, your faith in all mankind is the first thing you lose." And I think truer words, I really you couldn't say it better. I would just miss meeting people. I would miss having my like faith in humanity restored every time I'm overseas. It's really weird things. I just love travel. I really it would be a piece of me that was gone. I would yeah, I would and again, the question wasn't like if I could never travel again, but I think there's just something about a big trip, that which is really what the majority of what I do, that it just hits different. And you experience the world different when you're away for an extended period of time. So I would just miss it. Yeah, gosh, when you're away for an extended period of time, you have to be self-sufficient. You have to be independent in a lot of ways. Take care of yourself. If you're traveling with someone else, take care of them. And you're not just necessarily away on a holiday. I would miss it. It's tiring, I'll tell you that. But Yeah, I would just miss it. I think, if I never got to take a big trip again, I would miss it. For so many reasons. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. That was just a random topic that got thrown at me, and I thought I'd see where it went. So there you go. And on that bombshell, I'll let you guys go and catch you on the next one. Bye.